Speech off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, alright, my game is not meant to be, but that's fine. We're just going to do a normal, boring TBR with no fanfare because it appears I have to practically kiss the camera to make my speaker give you any sound. So, yeah, that's what we're doing today. Because I don't feel like going to the Apple store. I may have to, though, at some point. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But we're just going to give up on anything that requires me to move away from the camera. So, we're just going to talk about what I have semi-planned. This is a very loose TBR. I could completely go off the rails later. So we have two rollover books that I'm in the middle of. We have Drums of Autumn by Diana Gabaldon. It's the fourth Outlander book. I'm listening to the Kristen Atherton versions on that they're coming out with. And then I'm listening to the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire dramatized editions that Audible's coming out with. I'm on book 4. So, yeah. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Then we have 2 reading challenges I'm participating in. Alma's Journey Through Time. Her prompt for May is a historical fiction set in Latin America, and I'm really excited for my book for this. Actually, I have 2. I'm going to reread Before We Were Free by Julia Alvarez because there is a sequel that I did not know about. It's called How the Garcias Girls Lost Their Accents. So Before We Were Free is about Anita, and she is living in the Dominican Republic, and in that book we see that her cousins actually leave to go to New York. We meet up with them later in Before We Were Free, but like Before We Were Free is all about Anita and her journey in the Dominican Republic. So we actually get to see the Garcia girls go to New York in this next one. So I'm going to read both of them. I did not know this existed, and I'm really excited. So, yeah. And it took me some hunting, because there was just nothing that appealed to me that I wanted to read about for this. I don't know why. Which it's sort of shameful, because I'm Latina, I'm Mexican, but for some reason, Mexican books or, Hispanic books typically don't attract my attention. Anyway. Then we have Jane Reed's. Her challenge for May is set in Tennessee or the South, and a 5-star prediction. I did not get to These Healing Hills in April, so we're going to do that in May. It's about Francine Howard. Has her life all mapped out until the soldier she planned to marry at World War II's end writes to tell her he's in love with a woman in England. So she seeks a fresh start in the Appalachian Mountains, training to be a nurse midwife, and there's a man. Obviously, it's a romance. Ben Locke has war trauma, and they bond, and yeah. So there's that one. I also could read Coal Black Lies to get it off my 26 and 2026 list. I've been doing terrible at it since February. That one, Coal Black Lies by Cindy Sproles, is a potential option for me, but kind of more interested in These Healing Hills. We'll see. Then we have Middle Grade May. The hosts are Lizzie Faye Loves Books, Beth from Soul Tamed Inc., Storm Reads, and Lee from Dark Roots Creation. I'm not feeling super middle grady, but we'll see how much I get to. I don't know. First prompt is follow the compass, find a book that features a journey or a quest. I picked The Railway Children by E. Nesbitt. I'd seen the movie for this. It's about 3 kids. Their dad disappears. They don't know why. And they're, trying to figure it out. They're suddenly destitute. They used to, be rich and stuff. And they end up moving to this little cottage. And they have adventures there. It's very odd. I didn't really completely understand the whole movie. I remember that they were jumping off trains. So, whatever. It's a quest. I'm in. Then we have number 2, Campfire Tales, a scary story or mystery. I'm just going to read as many of the Boxcar Children books as I can. I've gotten recently back into them. I took a year break last year, but yeah, I read like 4 or 5 of them in middle grade March, so I'm just going to keep it going. I think I'm on 25. I know it's the amusement park mystery. I can't remember what number that is, but I love the Aldens and their independence, and they're funny, and yeah, we're just going to read a bunch of boxcar books. And then I have another series that I want to get to. Maybe The Face on the Milk Carton series by Caroline B. Cooney. This was like a series that I was obsessed with in high school. It's about a girl named Janie Johnson who basically finds herself on a milk carton, kidnapped kid, and she has to figure that out. And like all the books are like her complicated family dynamics. The last book I read was book 4, and it kind of ended on a weird note, but there was never anything else written. And then I suddenly find out back in like 2021 or something that there was a novella and another like final like full-length book, and I never went back to them. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do it this month. So I want to see how it ends. Then we have Into the Woods, a book set in nature. I have 3 possibilities for this. We have Hummingbird by Natalie Lloyd. It's about a girl with brittle bone disease who goes to regular school, doesn't work out, and she hears about a hummingbird who can grant wishes. So, all right, it's a hummingbird. And I have 2 books by Lynn Kelly. The Secret Language of Birds, which is about a girl who tries to rescue some endangered birds' nests or birds from a summer camp. And then we have 3 Blue Hearts by Lynn Kelly. Oh, I already said 2 Lynn Kellys. I heard about this one from book lover Amanda. She recently read it. And it's about Max. Him and his mom basically escape their politician dad to go on a beach vacation, and he finds an octopus to rescue. So, yeah. Then we have Mapmaker, a fantasy book. I'm just going to read Amari and the Middlework Menace. It's the next Amari book. And Harry Potter could also count. I was considering starting Keeper of the Lost Cities. I just don't really want to. I feel guilty about that, though, because I just bought the entire thing on an Audible sale back in March. But when was I going to get another chance to do that? Those books are expensive, and they were $2, so I bought them. And now I feel guilty because I want to read them right now. Number 5, Trailblazer, a main character who is brave or adventurous. I'm hoping to read a new release. It's called Lily Tripp, Diary of an Accidental Time Traveler by Amelia Tate. I heard about this one from Chloe from Always Booked, and Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. It's coming out on May 12th. So it's about a girl who time travels every New Year's Eve. It's Back to the Future meets Judy Blume, with a 13-year-old girl who tackles time slip mishaps, laugh out loud, embarrassing moments, and one unpredictable adventure after another. I mean, sounds fun to me. Then Under the Stars, something that is sweet or cozy. I'm thinking either Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm or 8 Cousins by Louisa May Alcott. I can't decide. Maybe I'll end up doing something completely different. I don't know. I'll see what other people put for their TBRs. Might change my mind completely. But Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm is about a girl named Rebecca, obviously. I've seen the movie, but it's different than the movie. Her mom, I guess, can't afford all her kids, so she sends Rebecca to live with her aunts. And her adventures there, I guess. Then we have 8 Cousins. It's about a girl who is sickly and goes to live with her uncle and a bunch of boy cousins and learns to roughhouse. So, sounds fun. Then we have the rest of the new releases I want to get to. We have The Forgotten Midwife by Laura Anthony. Heard about it from Gloria Z. Thompson, coming out on May 12th. A lot of May 12th releases. Set in the dual timeline of present day in 1950s Ireland and based on real historical events, the life of a young woman consigned to work in a home for quote-unquote fallen girls who quickly realizes she must risk everything to protect them. Riley Carmichael is getting married, that's the current day storyline, and finally joining a huge loving family, but can't help but feel the emptiness of her own side of the church. For most of Riley's life, it's just been her and her wonderful grandmother Betty, but as late-stage dementia overtakes her grandmother's mind, Riley knows she's losing her too. On one of Riley's visits to Betty's nursing home, she encounters her grandmother in one of her increasingly rare moments of lucidity as Betty desperately hands Riley a tatty birth certificate, of an unknown baby born in Ireland in the 1950s. Full of questions about her heritage, Riley embarks on a trip to Ireland to find that elusive sense of home. I mean, yeah. Okay. This isn't the current day timeline. We have another one. New Jersey, 2023. Margaret Lanigan's life is made up of weekly dances and spending time with the love of her life, Joseph. But when Margaret's older sister suddenly passes away, it falls to Margaret to fulfill the family's commitment to the church. The eldest daughter of the Lanigan family has joined the Sisters of Mercy nuns for generations. Okay. They put the timelines backwards. This looks like the 50s timeline. Okay, I'll figure it out later. Yeah, this looks... Margaret... What? How many timelines are there? Because now we're going back to 1954. Who's Riley? Who's Margaret? I guess we'll find out. What is happening? Goodreads has gone off the rails. Anyway, next we have Mad Mabel by Sally Hepworth. This one, I don't know. This one also went off the rails, but it's Sally Hepworth, so I'm going to just trust the process. We have Elsie Mabel Fitzpatrick is 81 years old. She's lived on her idyllic street for 60 years, longer than anyone else. Aside from being a curmudgeon who minds everyone else's business, few would suspect that Elsie has a past she's working extremely hard at concealing. Because when it comes to murder, no one ever expects little girls or old ladies. Okay. Then we have South of Somewhere by T.I. Lowe. Heard about it from Book Lover Amanda. It's about Juniper, who, I guess, got addicted to something, went to rehab, jail, and now she's trying to get her kid back. And there's a romance involved, so I'm in. Then we have Into a Golden Era, Timeless #7 by Gabrielle Meyer. I'm reading that the second it comes out. Secret Midwife of Berlin by Suzanne Fortin. I didn't get to it this month, but I will next month. It is about Berlin, 1939. As war breaks out across Europe, Clara, a British midwife married to a German officer, finds herself an outsider in the place she has called home for nearly a decade. Dismissed from her hospital and powerless as a pregnant Jewish woman is turned away alongside her, Clara is forced to confront a terrifying new reality. She may now recognize the city she once loved, but she won't stand by and watch as a desperate mother and child are neglected, so she delivers the woman's baby in secret, a single act of courage that changes everything for Clara and her husband. Soon, word spreads around the Jewish community of the Angel of Life, and Clara finds herself right in the heart of a special resistance, bringing life into the world even as darkness descends. I mean, doesn't that sound amazing? Then we have, I think this is my last one, Where We Belong by Kim Vogel Sawyer. I heard about it from Chloe, from Always Booked, Lou from Christian Faith and Fiction, and Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. 4 lives from Kansas and New York City cross paths. Okay. As a widow who never had children of her own, Hester never imagined she'd open her home in Kansas to not just 1 but 3 kids from the bustling streets of New York. But when the Children's Aid Society unexpectedly allows her to take 2 sisters and a young boy to her care, she rises to the challenge. And then we have Callum Holbrook. Struggled with despair after losing his wife, grieving and unable to provide for his family. He made the agonizing decision to entrust his daughters to an orphanage, promising it was only temporary. Now stable with a secure job, he is horrified to learn his daughters have been sent halfway across the country. With newfound determination, Callum sets out on an arduous quest to bring them back home. And I'm assuming there's going to be a romance between those 2. So, yeah, that is everything I have for May. It could change. Yeah. It always does. But, yeah. Let's hope this video works. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!